I never thought my life would come to this, standing in my own home, feeling like a stranger, my heart a hollow drum echoing with years of unspoken words. My name is Leslie, and for 22 years, I've built a life with Mark, a man whose laughter once filled every corner of our quiet Ohio suburb. But now, the silence between us is a chasm I can't cross, and I'm suffocating under the weight of his indifference. Last night, something snapped inside me, a reckless fire igniting in the ashes of our marriage, pushing me toward a dangerous edge I never imagined I'd tread. What I did in that moment, right in front of him, was meant to shatter the numbness. But what I saw in his eyes afterward left me colder than I've ever been. Picture this. I'm standing at my kitchen sink, the faint hum of a late-night infomercial drifting in from the living room, my hands wrist-deep in soapy water as I scrub the last of the dinner plates. The clock on the wall ticks past 11:30, and I'm already bone-tired, but there's a restless itch under my skin I can't shake. My name's Leslie. I'm 47, and this is my life. Tidy, predictable, and lately, suffocating. I've been married to Mark for 22 years, a man who fills a room with his presence, all 49 years of burly frame and a laugh that could rattle the windows. He's a sales manager at a hardware company here in our quiet Ohio suburb, and I'm a freelance graphic designer, piecing together projects from our modest home office. We've built a life together, brick by brick, but these days, it feels more like we're just going through the motions, roommates instead of partners. Mark's out there now, sprawled on the couch, the glow of the TV flickering across his face. I can hear the occasional grunt as he flips channels, not a word tossed my way since dinner. Lately, he's been a closed book, distant, barely stringing together more than a yeah or nah when I try to talk. It's like there's a wall between us, and I don't know how to climb over it. I rinse another plate, my reflection staring back at me from the dark window above the sink, and I wonder when we stopped really seeing each other. Then there's Travis, Mark's shadow since their college days. I'm still at the sink, the last plate slipping from my hands into the drying rack, when a loud slam jolts me out of my thoughts. The front door. It's unmistakable, a sharp bang that echoes through the house. My heart skips, and I wipe my hands on a dish towel, hurrying toward the living room. The TV's still blaring some late-night ad, but Mark isn't on the couch anymore. Instead, he's staggering through the doorway, half-dragging Travis, whose lanky frame is slumped against him like a broken puppet. Travis's flannel shirt hangs loose, untucked and wrinkled, and the stench of cheap beer and whiskey hits me before I even get close. His head lolls, eyes half shut, as he mumbles something incoherent, slurring so bad I can't make out a single word. Mark's face is tight, jaw clenched. Not a trace of alcohol on him, but plenty of irritation. He mutters under his breath, something about having to haul Travis out of some dive bar after a rough night. I glance at the clock, 11:50 now, and feel a hot spike of frustration. I've got a client call at 7 a.m., a big one, and I'm already running on fumes. Mark, what the heck is this? I snap, my voice sharper than I mean it to be. Why didn't you just take him to his own place? He barely looks at me, shrugging as he adjusts Travis's weight on his shoulder. He's in no shape to be alone, Leslie. You see him. He's a mess. I open my mouth to argue, but before I can get another word out, I'm standing in the hallway, my heart hammering in my chest like a drum, the echoes of my shouting match with Mark still ringing in my ears. My hands are clenched into fists, nails digging into my palms as I try to steady my breathing. I'm not doing this. Not sleeping on the couch or curling up in some forgotten corner of my own house. This is my home, my space, and I'm done being pushed out. So, with a fire burning in my gut, I spin on my heel and march back toward the bedroom, each step fueled by defiance. Travis is in there, sprawled out and passed out cold on my bed, where Mark dumped him after dragging him in from that bar. I tell myself I'm just going to sleep there because it's my bed, my right, and no one's going to take that from me. Not Mark, not anyone. I push the door open, the faint creak of the hinges cutting through the silence. Travis doesn't stir, his breathing heavy and uneven, the smell of stale beer still clinging to the air. I stand there for a second, staring at the empty side of the mattress, my side, and then I climb in, sticking to the far edge, as far from him as I can get. I'm still in my pajamas, the soft cotton clinging to my skin as I lie stiff as a board, my mind a storm of anger and frustration. Mark's cold shrug, his complete dismissal of me, plays on repeat in my head. How did we get here? How did I become so invisible to him? Minutes drag on, each one heavier than the last, and I can't shut off the noise in my brain. Then, Travis shifts. It's subtle at first, a low mumble I can't decipher, his body rolling slightly in his sleep. I freeze, every muscle tensing, as he inches closer. My breath catches, and I'm torn. Do I shove him away, get up, storm out? But something holds me there, a bitter mix of spite and exhaustion, rooting me to the spot. Then, in a moment that steals the air from my lungs, his hand reaches out, clumsy, and I'm standing in the kitchen the next morning, the bitter scent of coffee filling the air as I grip the edge of the counter, my knuckles pale from the pressure. The events of last night still churn in my mind, a restless storm I can't escape. Mark is at the table, sipping his coffee like nothing's wrong, his face as blank as a wiped slate. I dropped a heavy hint just minutes ago, something vague but pointed about Travis and the awkwardness of sharing space so close last night. I'd expected something, anything, a flicker of curiosity or concern. But there's nothing. Just the soft clink of his mug against the table, his eyes barely lifting to meet mine. Part of me breathes easier knowing he doesn't suspect a thing, but the other part, the louder part, is screaming inside. How can he not care? How can he sit there so detached, like I'm not even here? The clock ticks on, and soon I hear the creak of the bedroom door down the hall. Travis stumbles out, his hair a mess, eyes squinting against the morning light. He looks like he's been dragged through a rough patch, his steps unsteady as he mutters a low, "Mornin'," before shuffling toward the bathroom. I seize the moment, turning to Mark with a forced casualness in my voice. "Travis sure made himself at home last night, didn't he?" I say, letting the words hang with a sharp edge. I watch Mark's face, waiting for a crack in that stone-cold mask. But he just grunts, his thumb scrolling lazily on his phone, not even a glance my way. My chest tightens, a mix of anger and desperation clawing at me. I'm invisible, completely unseen in my own home, my own marriage. As the morning drags on, Travis is still here, lingering like a shadow I can't shake. We're all in the living room now, the TV droning some mindless morning show, while Mark slouches in his recliner, eyes glued to the screen. I'm sitting on the couch near Travis, who's nursing a glass of water, still foggy from the night before. I decide I'm sitting on the couch, the late afternoon sun casting long shadows across the living room, the air thick with a tension I can almost taste. Travis is sprawled out on the recliner, a soda can in his hand, sipping slowly as if it's the only thing keeping last night's haze at bay. Mark's on the other end of the couch, remote in hand, flipping through channels with that same blank stare I've come to dread. The silence between us is suffocating, a heavy blanket I can't throw off. I've had enough of this, enough of being a ghost in my own life, enough of Mark's indifference carving a hollow space in my chest. Something reckless ignites inside me, a spark I don't even try to smother. I'm done waiting for him to notice me. I'm going to make him see. I shift closer to Travis, the cushion dipping under my weight, my thigh brushing against the edge of his space. I let out a laugh, louder than it needs to be, over some dumb joke I barely remember making. My hand finds his knee, resting there with a boldness that shocks even me. I'm leaning in now, my voice dropping to a playful tone, teasing him about something trivial, anything to fill the air with noise. Travis blinks at me, his brow furrowing in confusion, a half-smile tugging at his lips like he's not sure if I'm messing around. I can feel the heat of my own pulse racing, my eyes darting to Mark for a reaction. Any reaction. Anger, shock, something. But he doesn't even look over. His gaze stays locked on the TV, like I'm not even here, like I'm not crossing a line right in front of him. That indifference, it's a slap, sharper than any words could be. It fuels me, pushes me further into this dangerous game. My heart's pounding so hard I'm sure they can hear it, but I don't stop. I lean in even closer to Travis, my breath catching as I make a choice I can't take back. In a fleeting, deliberate moment, I press my lips to his, a quick but undeniable gesture. Right there, I'm standing in the kitchen again, my fingers gripping the counter so tight I can feel the edge biting into my skin. My mind is a whirlwind, replaying that moment in the living room over and over, my lips brushing against Travis's, a reckless spark meant to ignite something, anything, in Mark. But there was nothing, not a flinch, not a word, just the drone of the TV and the weight of his apathy pressing down on me. I thought I'd feel triumphant, or at least vindicated, forcing him to see me. Instead, I'm hollowed out, drowning in the silence of his indifference. I hear the shuffle of feet behind me, and I turn to see Travis grabbing his jacket from the chair. His eyes avoid mine, his face flushed with discomfort as he mumbles something about needing to get home. I don't stop him. I can't even find the words to acknowledge the awkward air between us. The door clicks shut, and it's just me and Mark now. The house eerily quiet except for the faint hum of the fridge. I take a deep breath, steeling myself, and walk over to where he's still sitting at the table, his coffee mug untouched since earlier. I stand there, arms crossed, my voice trembling with a mix of anger and desperation. Why don't you care, Mark? You saw what happened out there. Why don't you even react? For the first time all day he looks up at me, but his eyes are empty, like I'm staring into a void where something used to be. His voice comes out flat, devoid of any warmth or fight. I've known for a while, Leslie. This, us. It's been over. I've just been going through the motions. He pauses, his gaze dropping to the table as if the words are too heavy to hold. I've been checked out for months, maybe years. I didn't react because I don't feel anything anymore. His words slam into me, a brutal force that knocks the air from my lungs. I've been clawing for a reaction, any sign that he still cares, only to find out he's already let go. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment if you enjoyed this story. This will help us create more engaging stories for you.